Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to another episode of an honestly very hard challenge. In the last episode, Elara pulled Acadian out from the grasses to hear his story about the red-eyed beast. To her, that was a sure sign that her mother was watching, so now she's let out her war cry. She's summoned her entire family to show that they're ready to march into battle, as long as the Lune is ready to lead them, I suppose. And as long as the leeches don't get to them first. Mr. Peaceful Bear, you are watching that, right? I mean, it's been a while since anybody around here was kind enough to offer you some food, so I know you're very, very dedicated to keeping little Lune safe. He can probably sense that she has such a connection to the healing fruits too, since the Peaceful Bears are often connected to mist in some way. So he's been taking his role very, very seriously, and I know that Stone is grateful for that. But that being said, I mean, now that he hears Elara's war cry from across the territory, he has to be pretty terrified. Poor little Lune still only has one gem to her name. Granted, she will be growing the second gem the next turn, so she won't have too much longer to wait. But it still has to be pretty nerve-wracking. On one hand, he knows how it is to have a mother who doesn't appreciate his strength, so he's not going to be the type of creature to hold her back. But on the other hand, this is a war, and there's no telling if she's going to be able to stand up against their enemies. So all he can really do is huddle her close for one last day. And I wonder if he would actually take notice of the gem on her fur now? The warm gem on her chest, once that silvery color just like her mother's, but slowly turning into the fiery color of his family. So I'm sure he feels like he can trust her to actually do the right thing. It looks like we have a couple of roots over here too, so why don't you jump over here, grab that one extra root, and then jump right back to your baby's side. I guess that's going to be kind of like a little parting gift in a way, maybe a good luck charm. I suppose we could always say that he was plucking one of the leaves from the healing fruits. Maybe she'll decorate her ram horns with the healing fruit leaves or something. If they're good luck to our babies, then surely they'll be good luck to her too. They'll keep her safe no matter what happens in the days ahead. So for now, I guess we'll just leave her right here next to the Peaceful Bear. That way she's not too close to the water, and we won't have to worry about her picking up any stray leeches. Now as for you, Pernille, I wonder if maybe you're hoping that you could send out some of your war cries too, something strong enough to rival your sisters. But as all things seem to end with Pernille, she's going to be a little bit too tired to sing out on this turn, so she'll have to just settle for sitting on top of the tree stump today. And meanwhile, I feel like Acadian is probably pretty oblivious about this whole situation. All this talk about war, he doesn't actually realize that he's doomed his family yet. Were it not for him charging off with this message about the red-eyed beast, they may have never found the sign from Nicole, so the Bonekeeper's army would have stayed in the dark. But as he's so tired and confused, it's probably all that he can do to find himself a good spot to curl up and take a nap. We'll have him go ahead and gather up the grasses around here, and maybe sleep quietly next to the healing fruits. A little bit of solace, I guess. You know, it's been a long time since he was even in the company of other creatures. Shadow was the only one who stayed by his side, and who knows where he is now. We figure that he probably passed away, since he did slink off into the darkness somewhere. But now we'll never find his remains, not with that red-eyed beast lurking around in the darkness too. Now, since we don't have any Dodomingos in the land right now, that means nobody's around to carry the songs to the other half of our tribe. So unfortunately, everybody over here is going to be painfully oblivious of what's coming. That means that everything can go on business as usual, I guess. We have Adeline over here who's probably having a little conversation with Aqua right now. She actually wants to help Jericho and Mars raise a family together. So I think that's something that Aqua could probably get behind too. We'll have her go ahead and clear out the last of the grasses by the nursery, and then she'll give her blessing, I guess. Give her blessing to help out her brother. Now, should we have Jericho breed with her? Or should we have Mars? I guess gene-wise, it probably doesn't matter too much. They both have the claw, they both have the nimble fingers, they both have the derp snout, of course. It is a little bit unfortunate that the derp snout has taken over so many of our tribe mates. I do like to have a little bit more diversity in our tribes. At least Awkward has the cracker jaw and Morganite has the normal snout, but there's always a chance that something interesting could be hiding beneath them. Maybe Adeline has a brand new recessive gene, and Mars is a wanderer too, so who knows what he's hiding. But on the same note, since we are playing with blind genes, we don't know what their immunity genes are. So we could get really unlucky like our previous pair and end up with a sick baby. So for now, just for the sake of carrying on the royal bloodline, I guess, we'll have her go ahead and breed with Jericho. If we bring her around to this way, we could have Jericho come on over here for now, and go ahead and breed with her. Oh, it looks like he has some pretty good fertility too. That's something that I forgot to check on. Yeah, so we definitely want Jericho to breed with her, just because of that. Because I have noticed that plenty of our creatures have very, very low fertility now. So it's probably a good thing that we're working on that now with you. So Adeline, let's actually have you come on over here. Oh, is the bunnies hop around behind you, Mars? I know that would be a pretty good snack to give to Adeline, and I know that you are going to be fussing over her all day long. But since you're so distracted, probably trying to find her a good soft place to rest, let's actually see if we can bring a long shot up here. Maybe he could snag the bunny instead. There you go, buddy. It's been a pretty long time coming. You've spent enough time gathering up those coconuts on the shore, so you've plenty of food to bring back to your tribe now. And I guess the first creature you're going to cross paths with is actually Clownfish, who seems to have grown his third and final gem now too. You know, he could actually use a little bit of advice. He's down here trying to make sense of this sign that he's found again, so similar to the first sign of that dead crabbit when he was little. He found it beneath the safe haven too. So does that mean that trouble is actually coming to their home? Before he figured the dead crab, it must mean that trouble is coming by the water. But something just isn't adding up, and he could probably use your help figuring out what all this means. I'm not sure that Longshot is going to be the best one to decipher any messages from the deities, though. I'm not sure if he would even believe that that's what's going on right now. So for now, while the two rest, let's have Mars go ahead and gather up the rest of the acorns over here. And then we'll have him skitter on down from the tree stump. Maybe he could have Adeline settle up here instead. Sit high atop the stump like the queen that she is. Now, Aqua, I suppose you could use the rest of your turns to try to call out to the clownfish, perhaps, or the clown koi rather, in the stream. She's still waiting to catch a glimpse of one. She hasn't seen one since her journey began, so she's starting to worry that she may have veered a little bit too far off course. And Kit, meanwhile, we're gonna have to have you stay right here. Not only is it really close to the remains of your mother, but I know you still really, really want to dig up that mud over there. She should only have one more day to go before she has her next jump too, so you could actually try to dig it up yourself on the next turn. Now, all that should be left is you two back here, preparing for the arrival of your baby, hopefully. Morganite has 2 more days to go, so now is definitely your chance to find a good place to settle down, and I'm sure it's probably going to be right over here, right next to the healing fruit this time. So gather up the last of your weeds, the last little straggling bits of nesting material, and then as for you, Awkward, I guess you could try your hand at bunny hunting again. It didn't really work too well last time, but I know you can't resist. You want to show your mate that you're nice and strong too. But of course, your strengths really lie in different places. Oh, and I almost forgot. 1 more day before the storm arrives again. You know, that probably means that you would prefer to take shelter. Oh, wasting time with bunnies when you should be going back to your mate's side. You want to make sure that your baby is going to be okay too. It's not as though you have the safety of the oak tree leaves to keep you dry, so you're going to have to come up with something fast. Now I think we should be ready to skip the day. With the leeches still prowling the shore. Oh, they are just waiting for you, Stone. I wonder if maybe you can take care of that in the next turn. Well, let's go ahead and zoom out, and we'll skip the day, keeping our eyes in the darkness just to make sure that nothing else is going to spawn in the meantime. No other messages from Nicole, and hopefully she hasn't followed us here either. Still no sign of her silhouette in the darkness. The Bonekeeper is still at bay, and the new rainfall means that so many of our babies are going to get the chance to grow. Oh, and Pernille. Look at this, you can even catch a little extra spot of lunch. That's going to distract you from sending out your own war cries, though. Well, I suppose food is probably the better choice to make. You are going to need that to keep your family strong after all, and I'm sure that Nicole would thank you. Now let's bring Awkward away from the tide pools. We'll have him settle down over here somewhere. Maybe right on top of the cliffs, as the bunnies devour every last one of our normal berries. It must be this bunny over here. Yeah, Stone, you probably have some berries to pick, but I suppose we'll have you just stay next to your baby for now. It's probably a little bit too far away for you to get any food anyways. So Morganite, it's finally time for you to take part in the tribe's ritual. Last time she wasn't able to munch on one of these healing fruits before she had her baby, so she figures that must be the reason why her previous baby was cursed. Let's have her eat the healing fruit, place down her very own nest, and cross our fingers that this is going to be enough. Takir's little matchmaker bunnies are coming out, so that has to be a good sign. Maybe he's watching over you after all. Now let's go back to Clownfish next. Maybe he could show the remains of the Crabbit to Longshot? See if maybe he can figure out what's going on. And Longshot would probably just give him a big shrug. He's such a carefree creature, like he's always just going with the flow. I don't think he minds too much what the deities think of him. So, have you ever considered that maybe the Crabbit was just a Crabbit? That maybe there was no big sign mixed in there after all, Clownfish. Maybe you're just making a mountain out of a molehill. That's what Longshot thinks anyways. Nothing to be afraid of, because as long as he's concerned, life is good right now. They have food, they have shelter, and they have plenty of new little babies being born. Kit now has her second gem, so we can give her the purple color in the middle, her mother's contribution. Now here's one baby who's not going to go scurrying back to the safe havens. She's going to stay out here right in the middle of the rain and try her hardest to paw up this mud. It's still a little bit too tough for her, unfortunately. It's too bad that none of our creatures over here have the digging paw like Stone does. Oh, she would absolutely love you, if not for the fact that your two tribes are kind of in the middle of a war right now. She would love the fact that you can dig up those roots so easily. Now, Lune, with your second gem at hand, let's go ahead and give you the lighter orange color right in the middle, just like your father. He can see that you have those bright warm colors on your chest now, planted right over your heart. So he can trust you to do the right thing. He knows it's going to be dangerous. He knows that this is no easy task, but you're prepared for it. So no matter what you choose, he's going to be behind you 100% of the way. Let's have him come over here for now, digging up those last remaining roots, as Lune makes her way to her sisters for the very first time. At least it's not too hard to find them. Aside from the fact that they're right in the middle of the forbidden clearing right now, she can still hear Elara singing loud and proud in front of her. So she'll scurry toward those war cries like a moth to a flame. She knows this is what her mother wanted. But how fitting that Elara is crying right next to one of our healing fruits again. Another sign for Lune. It seems like these are always paving the way for her, reminding her of her roots perhaps. Now Acadian must be feeling a little bit more well-rested. We could have him scoot on over to this side perhaps, right next to the tree stump where he can get a better look at this tribe. And probably tell the story to Lune too. I'm sure that Elara would demand it. So we'll have you just stay right here for now. Go ahead and pick out the grasses for us. I guess go ahead and try to pop the roots too, just so we can use up those turns. And then we'll go back to our creatures over here. So Addie, let's make sure that you're staying dry. We'll bring you up to the tree stump, just like Mars requested, as he tries to grab the extra little acorns beneath the tree. Oh, looks like he saw one of those little bunnies scurrying in the distance too. I wonder if he would call that out to Jericho. Since Kit is all grown up now, our little mud puppy is just fine on her own. I suppose he could come on over here to see if he could find some fish, see if he could find some of those berries. Yeah, you know, Jericho, that might not be such a bad idea. Let's have you come on over here so you can hopefully guard the rest of these berries from those bunnies. Unfortunately, it seems like they've stolen every last one, but we kind of knew that was coming. Now, are there any more acorns? No, looks like all of those have been shaken down already. So we might have to make do with what you have for now. I guess you'll have to prepare something special with the few acorns that you have gathered. But I know that you're not going to leave her side. And as for you, Clownfish, you actually have quite a bit of thinking to do, don't you? We'll leave you right here too, so you can stay beneath the oak tree. Now that leaves you, Aqua, and still not a single sign of any of those clown koi. You are probably getting so frustrated now. It's definitely a better idea for you to stay on top of the stump, though. I guess she figures maybe if she curls around the side of the stream here, maybe they're just hiding a little bit deeper. But since she's so hard at seeing anyways, she's not going to be able to find them unless she has a higher vantage point. This is where Addie always helped her. It's actually probably really, really lonely without her. Adeline was always the shadow watching her back. But Aqua doesn't really want to cause a scene. She knows that Addie is doing great things for her family, so all she can do is wait for her to return. And that should be the very final move for the day. So now it's time for us to return to Morganite. Oh, please tell me that this baby is going to survive. I'm not sure if I can take another heartbreak for you two. Oh no. Oh, she looks so cute too. It was another little bat-winged baby. A gray one this time. Morganite, I'm not sure if you're ever going to be able to have a baby. I wonder if they actually share like both of their immunity genes, and what terrible, terrible luck that would be. Should we give it another try though? I mean, I just don't want to give up on the potential that Awkward could actually raise some little bat-winged babies of his own. Oh, Awkward, I don't know what to do. Are there any silhouettes in the darkness by any chance? Any wandering dream babies out today? Unfortunately, it looks like Mist has really lost control here. She hasn't been able to send us any dream babies in such a long time. Not since Aquarius, actually, who was stolen away by one of the Berginas. Oh. Do you think that was maybe part of the Bone Keeper's influence all along? A little sign that she was going to take over the Berginas one way or another. And now with her influence so strong, it seems that Mist just can't seem to seep through. She just can't seem to keep these babies safe with the traditions from the healing fruits. So that has me a little bit concerned about Addie's baby. I hope that they're going to be healthy. If nothing else, I hope that Mars and Jericho can have a happy family together. Morganite really needs to go out seeking answers, though. I wonder if she would actually take her questions straight to Mist herself. Do you think there would be a good way for us to, like, summon Mist somehow? Maybe if we get Solaris involved, he could shuttle a message over to Mist for us. The question is, what would Mist actually appreciate the most? I mean, I'm sure she would love some of those termites, but I'm not sure that we can actually gather from these termite hills at all, not without some form of sticky tongue. So that might be out of the question. That being said, I suppose we could always try to crack some open. The green ones at least, because Morganite definitely doesn't want to get those termites on her, and I'm sure she wants to do this with her own two paws. So for now, I guess all we can really do is pack up this nest. Destroy this cursed nest again, and then she's going to charge off. Charge off in a fury. Poor Awkward probably has no idea what's going on. He's so sad for losing his baby, and now his mate is just charging off into the darkness like this. Well, he knows he has to follow her. We'll have her go ahead and take down this bunny though, just so they have a little bit of extra food for the journey. Go ahead and pick that up for her too. I wonder if he would try to stop her at first. I mean, aside from the fact the storm is raging right now, so they really need to seek shelter, he's not sure it's such a good idea to get the deities involved again. He remembers how difficult it was to shake the influence of the Bandit Brothers. So who's to say that a different deity isn't going to try to trick them instead? But Morganite has made up her mind. She's going whether he wants to follow her or not. So let me know if you guys have any ideas. What would be the best gift to offer up to Mist to truly catch her attention? Because Morganite is going to need all the help that she can get right now. Now, let's go back to Nicole's family, because I want to start moving them deeper into the grasses on this turn. I think it's finally time for them to make their first moves. So unfortunately, Pernille, that means you'll never get the chance to let out your own war cries, because you're going to have to follow your sisters now. So Lune, let's have you take the route of the healing fruits. We'll have you go out this way to follow their path, and that should leave you pretty well hidden. And this should also leave Acadian with his very first taste of the true nature of these scorpions. I'm sure they would insist that he goes too. He's kind of like their prisoner of war now in a way. They don't realize that he's part of Comet's family, just like he doesn't realize that they're about to attack his family too. But sooner or later, I'm sure all of that is going to come to light. Pernille will have you jump up here so you can go ahead and grab this rabbit for us. As Elara charges into the darkness, she's going to want to be one of the very first ones to plant her feet on enemy ground. She could care less that she's not supposed to be heading this mission. That being said, it would probably be a good idea for you to keep your bright coat hidden. Let's have you slink into the grasses over here. And as for Lune, you know, this might actually be an interesting distraction. She looks so much like one of Comet's family members anyways. Oh my gosh, do you think maybe Kit would notice her? That flash of orange fur in the distance? Oh, I wonder if she would grow curious. As she's pawing at the ground over here, maybe she would glance up over her shoulder, hearing something rustling in the grass. And she would think, you must be part of my family, right? Hello, is someone out there? Are you looking for someone to play with? Oh, she could always use a new playmate. And it looks like this kid is actually about her age, too. So she's probably super excited. I didn't even realize that we had family all the way out here. Where have you been hiding all this time? Do you want to play in the mud with me? Little does she know the true danger lurking in the shadows. The scorpions ready to attack. One swipe from those scorpion tails, and any of our creatures could be goners. I hope somebody is going to notice that Kit is getting away from them. Maybe it would even be Aqua. If we bring her back to her post on top of this tree stump over here, she would be able to see as Kit wanders off into the clearing. And I guess she might even notice that strange creature in the distance too. The one who looks so much like she and her family. The one who looks so much like Comet even. So I'm sure curiosity is getting the best of her. We'll have her stay right here for now, but she's going to keep a very close eye on the situation. And likewise, Clownfish, since I'm sure you're not too convinced by Longshot's advice, let's have you meander on over back to the water side. We'll have you climb over to Aqua's side, check up on our mission of course, any Clowngoy yet? And she'll just shake her head no, distracted still by that strange flame in the darkness. Do you see that too, Clownfish? Or am I going crazy? She probably thinks that there's always the possibility she might not be seeing right, especially without Addie here to back her up. And speaking of Addie, let's make sure that we're getting enough food for her. Jericho, go ahead and grab up these extra little berries over here, and then we'll have you slip on over to the water side. That way you can grab every last little fish that you can reach. We still have a couple of acorns to pick up over here too, and a bunny. Excellent, Longshot. It looks like you've actually found some more berries to pick from as well, so you can go ahead and swipe those up with your nimble fingers. It's only a matter of time before Addie gets tired of all this, though. She probably can't handle all this fussing. So just to appease Mars, let's have you go ahead and plant down your nest. I guess we might as well have you build one right on top of the stump over here. That way you can be comfy, even while you're sitting high on top of the throne. Oh, we don't want to forget about Stone either. You're supposed to be following your family too? Though it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to get around all this grass now. We probably should have had you follow Lune, but you'll get there sooner or later. And I guess for now we could have Acadian come over here and clean up after the family. Grab the bunny meat so Pernille doesn't have to waste a turn on that next time. Go ahead and clear out the grass by this nest for us. And then I think we should be ready to skip the day just one more time. Because in the next turn, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the very first standoff. It seems like nothing is waiting in between these families now. The storm has ended too, so no more rain to impede their attack. I think at first Lune would be curious. This child doesn't really seem to pose a threat to them after all, so maybe they could get some information out of her. Maybe Lune would pad up a little bit closer, right up here to meet Kit herself. as Elara seethes in the background. As our embodiment of wrath, she can't hold herself back for long. So maybe she wouldn't even wait for the Lune's signal. Maybe she would figure this is the perfect time to strike, and the Lune is just squandering their time. So she might charge forward, intent on hitting Kit with her scorpion tail. Take out one of their young to weaken the whole tribe. That flash of white would be enough to allure you though, Aqua, wouldn't it? Now you know that something is definitely wrong. So maybe she would charge forward too, planting herself right in the middle of Elara and Kit, and putting herself directly into harm's way. So finally all the pieces are falling into place. All of those signs that Clownfish found before, they were definitely not just some coincidence. A tragedy by the waterside, a tragedy of the water itself. He knew that Aqua was going to be involved somehow, and he won't let her get taken. He won't let her die. So with all of his strength, it's Clownfish who's going to lunge in front of that scorpion tail. It's Clownfish who's going to end up taking the brunt of the poison. And it's Clownfish who's going to be our first casualty of war. The first creature to ever meet his end at Elara's claws. As is the nature of this challenge, one single day's worth of damage is enough to completely destroy their lifespan, so he has made the ultimate sacrifice for his sister. Now the question is, how on earth are they going to defend themselves against these scorpions? They have a weapon that not even Comet could defend them from. But one thing's for sure, when the Lune sees the aftermath of this battle, that might finally stir the change that we've been waiting for, and cause her to rise against her sisters too. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!